Part 2. The Markings in the Dark. The laughter, if that's what it was, faded, swallowed by the oppressive silence that filled the tunnel once more. None of us spoke, the weight of that strange sound sealing our throats tight. Only Max, foolhardy as ever, muttered, "You guys heard that, right? Must be some kind of echo." The air grew thicker, almost stifling as we moved deeper, and the markings on the walls seemed to multiply. Each twist in the tunnel revealed new carvings, new symbols that seemed impossibly intricate, winding into themselves never the same twice, as if these were more than just symbols, but instructions or warnings encrypted in stone. "I've read about this place," Hannah said softly. "These symbols, they were here long before the tunnel was even built. Workers found them during construction and tried to remove them, but they'd reappear overnight as if the stone itself was resisting." Her voice was just above a whisper. They said the tunnel was cursed." "Come on, that's just ghost story stuff," Max scoffed, but his tone held none of his usual bravado. Even he couldn't deny the feeling gnawing at each of us, that creeping, cold fear that something was wrong here. The passage widened suddenly, revealing an arched chamber that veered off to the right, hidden by the shadows. I felt compelled to go in, the sense of purpose stronger now, tugging at me, guiding me. My flashlight cut through the darkness and stopped on a small pile of belongings. They looked old scattered notebooks, broken flashlights, rusted bits of metal. The sight was surreal, each object a frozen moment of terror left behind by those who had come before us. "Oh my God," Hannah whispered, kneeling to examine one of the notebooks. The pages were water-stained and the ink smeared, but the drawings inside were clear enough. They were recreations of the same symbols on the walls. Only here they were drawn with urgency, scratched deep into the paper with a manic precision. Each page was filled with the same warning, written over and over again in a shaky hand. "Do not look behind you." My blood ran cold as the words sank in. Slowly we each turned our backs to the notebook, an instinctual move that felt both ridiculous and horrifyingly necessary. We had barely processed it when a sound whispered through the air behind us, light and hushed, like the swish of a coat against the ground. I dared a glance over my shoulder, half expecting to see some apparition. But there was nothing there, only empty darkness stretching back through the tunnel. Only now the darkness looked thicker, solid, like something that could reach out and touch us. "Maybe we should head back," Max said, his voice betraying the fear he'd been holding back. Hannah nodded, her face pale. As we turned to leave, my flashlight fell on something painted at the far end of the chamber. The words were in German, but I could make out the translation, _ "What lies within the tunnel cannot be unseen." Beneath it was a simple drawing of an eye, large and crudely painted, a symbol of eternal vigilance, as if to remind anyone reading it that the tunnel saw all. That's when I noticed the footprints. Faint, almost blending with the ground, they led further into the tunnel, deeper than where we stood. The prints looked fresh, recent enough that they hadn't yet collected the fine layer of dust that covered everything else around us. A chill crept over me, and the sensation of being watched became unbearable. We needed to leave now. But as we moved to retrace our steps, the laughter returned, echoing from somewhere far ahead. And as we stood there frozen, another voice joined it, ragged, hoarse, a whisper laced with anger and desperation. It called out a single word, drawn out as if searching for someone, for us. "Who are you?"